Hello everyone, this is part 57 of What If Naruto Had Two Bloodlines, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Sakura was in the library doing a little extra medical research when she heard mumblings from someone she believed she recognized. She got a closer look and found Sai reading to himself from the book, How to Quickly Become Friends with People. Seeing this brought a smile to her face. Since he was going to such great lengths, she decided to give him a hand. She invited him to join her for the day. The two left the library and walked around the village. She suggested that he should join her and Naruto visiting Kakashi in the hospital. He followed her to where she and Naruto were supposed to meet. Naruto, she waved, getting his attention. What is Sai doing here? I invited him, she informed. I was planning on it just being the two of us, you know, alone, Naruto hinted. Like on a date, Yuki said, almost appearing out of nowhere. But I thought you were supposed to be going on a date with Hinata. Oh, so you have a date, huh? Sakura teased. Her disposition soon changed, and you have the nerve to try and get me to go on a date with you. Naruto scrunched up his face and said, it's not a date, Hinata just wanted to talk to me, probably about the dream she had. Oh come on, don't break a girl's heart, Yuki taunted. Like I said, it isn't a date, Naruto argued. So are you saying that you don't like Hinata? Sakura continued. Sai interrupted before he could say anything. Do you think that I could join in the conversation? He asked with a blush. You see, I read this book about getting to know people and stuff, and it said that to become closer and better friends quickly, I should refer to them by nicknames. Hey, I didn't think you were one to care about something like that, Sai, Naruto said. Yeah, he nervously replied. But even though I read that, I couldn't think of any good nicknames. Nicknames aren't something you think about, they just happen naturally, Naruto told him. If you're going to make a nickname, then, for instance, you can use someone's characteristics, Sakura explained. Like Naruto, for example, he'd be stupid Naruto, or idiot Naruto, or someone's boyfriend Naruto, or cheating. Why? Yuki snorted as she tried to stifle her laughter. Naruto heard this and said, oh yeah, well if that's how it is then you the dummy. Yuki took exception to that and the war of the words began. Idiot brother, stupid sister, big baby, baby sister, snow top, hot head, monkey butt, the same goes for you. Narutard. Sai interrupted, stopping Sakura's amusement and things before they got out of hand. I think I got the hang of it, he turned to Sakura to finish, ugly dog. A moment of silence was held because there wouldn't be time or much left of Sai for grieving afterwards. What the hell was that? Sakura roared as she tried to fight off Naruto and Yuki to get to Sai. The hospital. That was overdoing it a bit, Naruto told him. Still angry, Sakura hit Naruto to give him a black eye to match Sai's. That was more than just a bit, it was complete overwork. Oh, is that so? Yeah, Yuki agreed. She's no great beauty, but big sis is alright. Not liking the wording, Sakura hammered Yuki on top of her head, giving her a big bump. Kakashi cleared his tea, regretting he had even asked what happened. With the introductions out of the way, Kakashi changed the subject. So, I heard about the last mission and Sasuke from Yamato. Yeah, Naruto said dejectedly. Now there isn't much time left. Sasuke's become much stronger than he was before, but at this rate, we have to do something quick. Looking at his book, Kakashi said, well, in that case, you only need to become stronger than him, right? Sakura chimed in, even as I looked at him, it was clear that the rate in which he'd grown stronger wasn't natural. After consulting my master, she told me that it's possible that he'd been using forbidden jutsu, or even been taking drugs during his training, and with someone like Kabuto working with him. Then you'll just have to get stronger than him at a faster rate, Kakashi said, not looking up from his book. I'm sure that I already am stronger than him. That isn't the issue, Naruto stated. The issue is, How can I bring him back without killing him? Kakashi looked up from his book a bit intrigued. Well, why don't we try something out and see, shall we? What are you getting at? Naruto inquired. You don't think that I've been doing nothing but sleeping while I've been restricted here, do you? I was thinking the whole time, and something came to me. He scanned the room and stopped on Naruto. What was it? Naruto asked curiously. It won't be much use for anyone else, but I figure that this particular method is just perfect for someone like Naruto, or rather, I should say that it's something only he and perhaps even Yuki are capable of doing, but I want to test it out on him first, he said vaguely. Well, what is it? Yuki pried. It's going to be something quite different from what you've done so far, but in the end, you'll develop an ultimate ninjutsu. Naruto and everyone else's ears perked up as their interest grew. Kakashi continued, we're going to have you acquire a new ninjutsu even greater than the Rasengan. However, to acquire such power, one must spend a great amount of time and effort to do so. Something greater than the Rasengan. But the Rasengan is already destructive enough. If I'm going to save Sasuke, I won't need any more destructive jutsu. I have enough techniques that cause harm as it is, to use against that snake Orochimaru, maybe, but not Sasuke, Naruto stated. That and we already don't have enough time to spend on a long training session. Yeah, but I thought of a way to do it in a shorter period of time. Intrigued, Naruto said, I'm listening. Outside the door stood Hinata, eavesdropping. As she listened in, she knew that this would be another thing that got in the way of her and Naruto's talk. So, what's going on? A female voice asked. Surprised and embarrassed, Hinata whipped around to see Asuma, Ino, Chuji, and Shikamaru. With a smile and a simple greeting, Asuma opened the door. Asuma-sensei, you're supposed to knock first, you know, Ino complained. He ignored her and entered the room with the rest of his team, and Hinata behind him. Almost immediately the three youngsters of Team Asuma took notice of Sai. In a friendly manner, he responded, Hi, nice to see you. While everyone was focused on this matter, Naruto had a sidebar with Hinata, you know, right? With a sad expression, Hinata simply nodded. Hokage's office. A member of the Anbu Black Ops had just finished giving his report. With word from the Hokage herself, he dismissed himself. Akatsuki's on the move, Shizune stated. It's only a matter of time before they pay a visit to the Leaf Village. This is becoming quite the problem, but I say that it's also a chance for us to take care of them. It's about time we stop messing around. The youngsters of the teams had been sent out so that Asuma could talk privately with Kakashi. They headed to a barbecue pit to get acquainted with their new friend, Sai. Keeping his book's teachings in mind, Sai tried to come up with some nicknames to quicken the process of hopefully acquiring new friends. Chuji introduced himself and Sai responded, nice to meet you, Naruto and Sakura feared what would come out of his mouth next. If it was one of taboo, he may not live too much longer. As a word started to slip past his lips, Naruto stopped him and warned him never to call Chuji fat. Sai was confused but accepted it anyway. Next, Ino introduced herself. Sakura awaited the words that would come out of his mouth about Ino. She figured that if he called her ugly, he would surely do the same to Ino. With women, if you tell them exactly how they look, they get mad, so if I say the opposite, then I'll be alright. Sakura could feel it. She was going to enjoy this. Nice to meet you, beautiful. Ino blushed and was instantly love-struck. She knew she was beautiful and other girls had told her she was, as did some guys, and she was sure that those that didn't want to acknowledge her beauty thought she was beautiful as well, but she had never been told by such a handsome guy before. Sakura, on the other hand, couldn't stand for it. Why the hell is it beautiful when it comes to Ino? Naruto tried to act quickly to calm her down or even hold her back, but he had a lot of trouble keeping her from making a ruckus, especially since Yuki learned from the last time and decided to sit this one out. Later, Naruto was racing across the rooftops of the village after parting ways with the others. The reason he was in such a hurry was because he was being chased. Hell-bent on annoying him into meeting with Hinata, she pursued him all over the village. No matter what he did, he just couldn't shake her. If he tried to run and hide, she'd just sniff him out, and if he created clones and scattered, she'd do the same. Knock it off, will ya? Naruto shouted at his annoying little sister. Not until you stop putting off your date with Hinata. She yelled back. I told you, it's not. He stopped as he noticed someone close. That's. He and Yuki followed the person to a clearing. Kakashi-sensei, what's going on? It's time to train, he answered. A smile crossed Naruto's lips. He had been waiting for the day when his sensei would actually give him one-on-one training. Well, laugh it up while you have the chance, ha ha ha, Kakashi joked. But seriously, time isn't on our side. I said that I thought of a way to quicken the training, but there's a chance that things won't go smoothly. Well, I suppose it's worth a shot, and if it doesn't work, we'll just have to try something else. What'll we be doing? To develop a jutsu superior to even the Rasengan, you'll need to have a command of 2 chakra control techniques, physical and spatial recomposition. Okay, just like the Chidori, you physically recompose your chakra to resemble electricity, then you spatially recompose it to discharge, thus determining the strength and scope of the attack. In that sense, you could say that unlike Chidori, Rasengan is a jutsu relying only on extremely advanced, spatial recomposition. Since the jutsu compresses chakra by spinning at violently high speeds, it doesn't have any need for physical recomposition. Yuki looked confused, so she just mimicked Naruto in nodding their heads in understanding. Kakashi wasn't sure that either got his explanation but figured that they were the types that learned better through doing. Acquiring such a technique takes an enormous amount of time, and so I'll explain how to reduce that time penalty like I was about to back at the hospital. The method is the multi-shadow clone jutsu. The twins questioned. The multi-shadow clone jutsu is how we're going to do this in a short amount of time. I'll explain, but listen carefully. The two of you already know the difference between shadow clones and regular clones. You make an actual body rather than an illusion, a complete copy of the user. Although I can't produce as many as you, I can use it just as well, so I know the effect it has on the user. Since you use it a great deal yourself, I'm sure you noticed. Not sure, Naruto bluntly answered. Kakashi explained, when you release the jutsu, any knowledge and experience gained by the clones will transfer back to the original. Naruto crossed his arms and scrunched up his face. I don't think I've ever really noticed anything like that. I usually use my chakra sensing ability to keep an eye on things. Since Naruto wasn't sure if he had or hadn't picked up on this, Kakashi had them each create a clone and had them head into the woods, out of sight. To ensure that nothing interfered with this experiment, Kakashi asked the twins to dull their sensing ability. They did so as the clones ducked out of sight. What are they doing? Yuki inquired. You'll know in just a second, Kakashi told them. After a round of paper rock scissors, the clones dispersed. That's when it came to the originals. A draw, huh? Yuki revealed. So that's how it works. Naruto pondered. Yeah, you get it now. Anything a shadow clone learns or experiences returns to the original when the jutsu's released. Yeah, I guess I just never really noticed, Naruto said. This could have made my life a little simpler back in the academy, he figured. Yeah, maybe. Obviously this attribute makes shadow clones ideal for reconnaissance, observing the enemy's camp, infiltration, and information gathering, Kakashi clarified. Yeah, so let's get on with the rest of it, Naruto impatiently nudged. Fine, if 2 of your clones go through the exact same training, then you end up getting twice the benefit from it. To put it another way, if you have 2 clones doing the same training, you accomplish the same amount in half the time. And with 3, a third, and on with 1,000 in 1,000th. Got it, the twins said. Something that would take 2 days by yourself would take only a day with a clone beside you. With 1,000 clones, something that would normally take you 20 years would take about a week. We're going to start work on chakra nature manipulation. While we train, Naruto, you're to have at least 1,000 clones working with you at all times. And what about me? Yuki asked. For now I just want to test this with Naruto. Because of the amount of chakra he has and will use, this type of training is perfect for him. He may also have to tap into the Kyuubi's chakra, and I don't want a repeat of the time when we rescued Gaara. Then, what am I supposed to do? There are plenty of other things you could do in the village, he answered. Perhaps you could ask the Hokage to train you, or maybe train with some of the other young shinobi of the village. With a sour look on her face, Yuki said, so basically, you don't care what I do as long as I'm somewhere far away. How can you just dismiss me like that? She angrily huffed. After a nervous chuckle, Kakashi said, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm just trying to take every precaution I can to ensure that neither of you goes on a rampage in the village. Yuki's cheeks became inflamed as they puffed out. Upset that she was excluded, she stomped away while mumbling under her breath. Naruto knew his sister and how out of hand she could get when he wasn't around to entertain her and warned her not to overdo whatever it was she decided to do while he was training. She didn't say a word. She just marched off, aggressively bumping Yamato on the way. Captain Yamato, I'm sorry about my sister. She's in a bad mood. But what are you doing here? Kakashi asked me to help out with your training. You'll need me to help control the Kyuubi's chakra. Kakashi went on, we'll start with the 5 basic types of chakra used for jutsu: fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water. Most people's chakra nature naturally lean towards a certain nature, Yamato stated. The Uchiha clan, for example, was full of people with an affinity to fire, and so, they were exceptionally scared with fire element jutsu. So, what about Sasuke? Naruto asked. Well, he could already use fire-based attacks and, Chidori, is a lightning element jutsu, so. Sasuke's matched with both fire and lightning, then. Naruto finished. Pulling out a few sheets of paper, Kakashi said, you on the other hand are a 0. We have no idea which nature your chakra leans towards. No, Naruto interjected. Gramps kind of went over this with us before we came back, he mentioned. Oh. Then that saves us a little more time, Kakashi told him. So, what was your affinity? Naruto put his hand up to his chin in thinking fashion and looked away to say, I think Yuki's was fire. Sensing that Naruto was trying to hide something, Kakashi pressed, and what about you? Naruto nervously chuckled and said, mine is kind of undetermined. Seeing Kakashi and Yamato's expressions of disbelief, Naruto hurriedly explained, you see, after Yuki tried, so did I, but the paper did something weird, and then I tried again and the paper split, and to be sure, Grandpa had me do it again and the paper burned, and we kept on and on until he just gave up and told me to focus on something else. While I did a different kind of training, he started training Yuki to use her element while I'm here with no idea of what mine is. Naruto huffed and puffed trying to catch his breath after all of that. Kakashi took in all he had said and started, well then, it seems that, by your story, you have an affinity for both fire and wind. It makes sense. You are from the Dragon Clan whose individuals can have an assortment of the basic elements, and then there's the Star Clan who can actually use either fire or raw chakra to cause explosions and burn their opponents. He then said, so let's try it again and see what reaction the paper has this time and go from there. He handed Naruto the paper. He took it and began focusing his chakra. He then forced it into the paper and wind nature manipulation it is then, Kakashi concluded. Shall we begin? Yuki was leaping through the village bored out of her mind. She was desperate for something to do. She stopped for a moment in hopes that something, anything, would pop into her head. She thought of all the people she knew in the village. I'm not very interested in any of the guys, she concluded. That Shino guy gives me the creeps and I can have some fun with Kiba, but I don't want to be around him unless I have to. I think I'll see what Big Sis is up to, or maybe I'll see how Hinata's doing, or maybe I'll spend the rest of the day annoying Granny Sunid, she thought with a devilish grin. But which one do I do? She debated before it came to her. Since you have an affinity for 2 elements already but no proper training in how to utilize them, why don't we start with one and go from there? Kakashi suggested. Wind seems like a good choice. With the ability to cut and sever anything, it's very good for battles, of course, that's when you learn to make full use of your chakra nature, that is. Okay, but I have a question before we start. What sort of physical recomposition is used in Captain Yamato's wood element? Kakashi whispered for Yamato to give a demonstration followed by an explanation. He created a large mountain out of nowhere and followed it up with a flowing waterfall from its peak. I have the ability to manipulate both water and earth, he said before jumping down. Wow, Naruto said in amazement. Captain Yamato has 2 too. He exclaimed. Those of Junin level usually have at least 2 elements at the disposal. I can also use other elements other than lightning, Kakashi explained. Naruto chuckled, then does that mean that I'm Junin level 2? No, Kakashi denied. Your level depends on your skills. It's just not rare for someone who is Junin level to have at least 2 elements. Naruto shrugged and sort of pouted, Fine, but I'm still not sure if I understand about Captain Yamato's wood element. I don't think I've ever heard of anything about it before. Well, you see, Kakashi began. I can only use earth and water. There's no such thing as a wood element to begin with, Yamato finished. I use both elements together, and by controlling them at the same time, I create a new wood element to manipulate. He then demonstrated earth in the right hand and water in the left. He clasped his hands together and trees began to grow from the mountain he created. When you have two elements that you can control, it's not very difficult to use them separately, but it's a completely different story when it comes to using both together. Kakashi continued the explanation. The ability to control two elements simultaneously and create a new element to manipulate, that's what's called a bloodline limit. You know of this term, right? You remember the boy you fought, Haku. He was able to use a bloodline limit of ice-based jutsu. He controlled two elements, wind and water, to create ice. That's a special jutsu that could only be used by those born into a clan with a bloodline limit. The same goes for your Dragon Wave and Shadow Star and other techniques you may have. These are types that not even the Sharingan could copy. With his question answered, Naruto was curious about more. He wanted to know about how medical ninjutsu, genjutsu, and shikamaru and Chuji's techniques worked. Pressed for time, Kakashi decided to skip it for now and get on with the training. Well then, let's start. First we're going to train so that you improve in the physical recomposition of chakra. In this training, you're going to place a leaf between your palms and try to cut it in half with only your chakra. Right, Naruto excitedly agreed. Yuki made her way through the halls of the Hokage Tower. She inched her way to the door of her office and could tell that no one was inside. She turned the knob and eased the door open. She snuck in when no one was looking and began rummaging through the desk drawers. She looked all over and, aha, there it is, she found what she was looking for. Shizune, Hinata, and the Hokage herself were at the hospital doing rounds. Before long, Yuki showed up looking to talk to Hinata. So, what did you want to talk to my brother about? She grilled. It's really only something meant for Naruto's ears, Hinata expressed. Oh come on, I won't make fun of you or anything. I'm just curious. I already think I have a hunch of what it's about anyway, she playfully teased. Why, you do. Sure. I was there when you had your little dream. Actually that's not giving her a chance to clarify, Yuki kept it up. Oh Naruto. I love your white hair and your big blue eyes. I especially love your big bulging muscles, she lovingly med, grabbing the attention of anyone within earshot. She then cranked it up a notch. Ooh. I love you so much. Take me now. Yuki, shut up and leave. Tsunade growled. Leave Hinata alone, she has things to do. But she's about to tell me something, she whined. Yuki. Master, could I have a moment to talk with Yuki? Hinata pleaded. Fine. Tsunade reluctantly granted. I need a drink, she groaned as she left the hospital. Happy that she did such a thing, Yuki hugged Hinata, saying, I knew it. I love you so much. You saved me for now. Thank you. So, I'm listening. Okay, but there's only one way that I'll tell you, Hinata said. Sure, I'll do whatever. Hinata told her, you have to be my assistant for the time being and behave while we're here. Yuki pouted and puffed up her cheeks once she heard this. Alright, I suppose, I guess it's worth it if I can tease my brother with it later. No, you can't. Hinata declined. I don't want him to hear it from anywhere else but me. She puffed up again, that's no fun, but I guess that I'll give you a hand. We are friends after all. Naruto and his many clones had plucked every leaf off of a large, healthy tree, 1,000 leaves, 1,000 clones. They all pulled their all into this training. While they tried to cut the leaves in half with chakra alone, Kakashi sat back with a good book to enjoy his little break. After an hour or so, he began to notice that Naruto was making great progress, much more than he expected. That was good. All that remained was to ensure that every base was covered so that things could continue rolling along smoothly. He strolled up to Yamato and asked him, are you having any problems controlling the Kyuubi's chakra, Tenzu? Yamato confirmed that everything was fine at the moment but complained about being addressed by that name. The subject was dropped as a little back and forth was being held in the group of Narutos. Hey, I'm pretty good, one bragged, showing his leaf split halfway. Man, I still haven't gotten that far, another groaned. Me too, a Naruto added. That's because, unlike you guys, I've got talent, the same continued to boast. What do you mean? You're me, a straggler pointed out. Are you sure we're all the same? One questioned while asking the others to look at how far he'd gotten. You gotta be kidding me, one said after seeing the near divided leaf he held. He's already that far. That guy's pretty good. One of the Narutos split from the herd and approached Kakashi. He asked him if there was any easier way to do this. Yuki had finally convinced Sakura to put the books down and train with her. The two were now sparring with all of their might. They wouldn't be left behind by Naruto. Sakura threw a big punch. Yuki ducked and landed a punch in Sakura's gut. Air and spit was forced from her, but she wouldn't let that stop her. Sakura tried an uppercut only to force Yuki to jump back. The entire fight had gone this way. The entire area showed signs of this as said debris was scattered about. With a smirk on her face, Yuki said, "Oh come on, I know you can do better than this. Get serious." If that's the way she wanted it, then that's the way it would be. Sakura charged her opponent. Yuki did the same. The two met ready to knock the other's head off their shoulder. Sakura threw a punch and Yuki evaded it by a hair. She then caught Sakura with a punch to the face. Her head whipped back and dipped as a punch found its way to her gut. She saw another punch coming and received it to the gut once again. She quickly grabbed a hold of Yuki's arm and pulled her in. She dealt a breathtaking blow to her stomach, lifted her into the air, and slammed her to the ground. Sakura drew back to deliver an earth-shattering and bone-breaking blow to her downed opponent. Checkmate. Or, I've lost again. When we celebrate the end of our next mission, the bill's on you, Sensei, Shikamaru smirked. Okay, he deflatedly replied. Asuma-sensei, there's something I need to ask you, Naruto called out. Sure, what is it? I need tips on how to manipulate the wind element, he told him. You're trying to learn how to control the nature of chakra? Shikamaru asked. You need talent in order to master that. You sure you can do it? He joked. Naruto scrunched up his face as Shikamaru and Asuma chuckled. Don't laugh, Naruto complained. I need help. Still chuckling a bit, Asuma apologized. I'm sorry, but it is a surprise to hear this. And to hear that your chakras, wind-natured. He crossed his arms as if he was really thinking it over. I'll tell you what, my team celebrates at the end of every mission by eating barbecue. I'll consider doing this if you cover the bill for next time. Hey, you're cheating, Shikamaru argued as Naruto looked to think it over. Naruto agreed since it was for his training. Shikamaru warned him that he was getting in over his head, but it couldn't be helped. Asuma reached into his pouch and pulled out his trench knives. Naruto wondered what he planned to do with them. These are my chakra blades. The blade is made of special metal that absorbs the chakra nature of the holder. He handed one to Naruto and told him to put his chakra into it just as he was. Naruto watched as the chakra around Asuma's blade formed and sharpened. Naruto tried to do the same, but his came out blobby. He could feel Asuma's chakra and tried to mimic it, but it still didn't come out right. He couldn't figure out what he was doing wrong. When manipulating wind-natured chakra, you've got to imagine splitting your chakra in two and grinding them together. Do it so the two chakra fields sharpen one another into fine pieces. The thinner and sharper, the better, Asuma explained. Naruto kind of got it, but he questioned what the point of it was. Why use a chakra type that can cut when you're already using a weapon for cutting? Asuma offered to show him. He suggested that they both throw his blades at a tree and they did. Naruto's embedded itself halfway into the tree first. Asuma's followed in an explosive way. It blew through the tree and into the boulder behind it. Naruto was shocked. He was even more so when Asuma told him that he had been holding back. This got his point across, but just to be sure. If two warriors of the same level fought with sharpened weapons, the one with the sharpest tool would win. The wind element is the best for close and mid-ranged fights because of its offensive power. Naruto thanked him for the information he'd given him. Asuma assured him that he would help again if there were any other questions he had, for a price of course. Naruto nodded, thanks UNC. He crossed his fingers and released his jutsu. As he went up in smoke, it was revealed that he was a shadow clone. Like Kakashi had said, the information learned by the clone was distributed to Naruto and the rest of his clones. They finally got it and put it to use, eventually slicing through the leaves. Kakashi looked up from his book. Well, it looks like it's time for the next phase of training. That's right. Because I'm just that awesome. Naruto bragged as he released his jutsu. Almost immediately he began to feel weak. He began to collapse but was shouldered by Kakashi, still with book in hand. And this would be the major drawback, Kakashi commented. He looked at him from the corner of his eye saying, "You are pretty awesome in your own way, but don't forget that it was my ingenious training method that allowed you to come this far so quickly." Tsunade entered her office and sat behind her desk. She took a deep breath and just sat there for a minute. With no one else around, she then reached under the desk and found her bottle of sake. She took in the intoxicating aroma before licking her lips in anticipation as she poured it into a small cup. She grabbed the cup and took a big swig, drinking it all down in one motion. Once done, she noticed that there was something odd about it. It didn't have its usual taste, something didn't seem right. Was it her or was it? Tsunade poured another cup and this time fully awised it. She took a whiff and noticed that the original scent wasn't as strong as before. She looked at the liquid sitting in the cup and noted that it was a lot clearer than what she remembered, but she wasn't sure because she was used to gulping it down and asking questions later. She picked up the cup and drunk it down. She still couldn't put her finger on it. She heard laughter coming from outside the window and saw Yuki's head there. Discovered, Yuki opened the window and let herself in. She was still laughing as hard as before while pointing at the clueless Hokage. Agitated, Tsunade asked her what was so funny. Snickers, I got into your sake. She tried to hold back her laughter. Yuki, you're too young to drink. Snickers, no, that's not what I meant. She struggled to keep in her laughter. I snuck in here and poured out most of your sake. I then watered the rest down, still laughing and holding her sides. Yuki could feel her tea seizing up and swelling. She could hardly breathe and her sides were aching like never before. If she didn't this way, then surely she would from the constant flow of tears from her eyes that could very well drown her in that room. This all came to an abrupt end. Yuki had been saved from death by asphyxiation by the cold touch of the Reaper. She stopped laughing as a strange sensation overtook her. She turned to meet Tsunade's cold gaze. Before she knew it, she was sent through the Hokage's door and the hallway wall. Tsunade followed, not sure if she should continue the beating or send Yuki to the hospital. She peered into the hole in the wall to discover the hospital. Yuki suddenly burst into laughter. This shocked and surprised Hinata since it just came out of nowhere. That was priceless. Yuki cackled. That Kakashi is an evil genius. Who'd have thought that I could cause 3 times the trouble at once? It's a shame that I couldn't beat Sakura with my clone, but at least I pranked Granny Tsunade good. Hinata wanted to question this but decided to let it go. The two still had more work to do. Once done, the two left the hospital and Hinata began, "All right, Yuki, about what I wanted to talk to Naruto about." Naruto awoke with the sound of a waterfall in the background. He slowly sat up as Kakashi said, "You're finally awake, that means that we can continue, right?" Naruto looked baffled and still a bit tired. "Well, this training method will tend to wear you out. After a bit more resting, we'll go on with the training." "What are we doing next?" Naruto asked. Kakashi pointed over his shoulder to the waterfall. Naruto's jaw dropped in astonishment. Yamato explained, "You're gonna put your hands up to the waterfall and cut it with all the wind chakra you can manage. In order to do that, you'll need to instantaneously produce massive amounts of elemental recomposition. If you clear this stage, it'll mean that you can at least use it in real combat." Naruto smiled and began to stand to his feet. He was ready and anxious to continue his training. He had to admit, he was starting to really get into it, as was Kakashi. Yamato, on the other hand, wasn't as enthused. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. A monk from a temple not too far from the Leaf Village had come bearing tragic news. The Fire Temple had been attacked by 2 mysterious men wearing Akatsuki cloaks. They had unbelievably killed everyone there and said that the next target was the leaf itself. This was bad. Tsunade called for immediate action. They would hunt down these two and make sure that they didn't leave the fire country, period. Assemble, Nichu Shutai, immediately. X. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.